Hi everyone, it is that time of the month again to show you my completed pages. Now I have quite a few again. I've done just over 100 pictures this month, which is quite surprising as there was a lot of tennis to watch and other things going on. But some of them are smaller, but you know, there we go. So let's starting with Johanna Basford. Let's just pop my planner aside. Now this is the Johanna Basford planner where each week I do a tutorial of some of the page or all of the page. So this is the first week, which was done with Castle Arts metallic pencils. You can see how I didn't bother putting a piece of paper in between the pages, and so when I coloured this it came out. That's why you put a piece of paper between the page. Then we had our island. I'm actually rather fond of all of the pictures this month. This was done with Stella Design Journey with some soft pastels in the background with a cloud template. And then the butterfly, unfortunately this has come off on here, which I need to erase from the picture on the back. Silly mistake there, but it will erase off, which is rather good. Just see that you can just get rid of it, but I won't do that now. But that was done with Black Widow pencils. And then we have this one, which, yes, you would have seen all of the videos. This was a 3-parter, and this was done with Pablo pencils. Now I don't have this one done yet. This is my next video to make after this one, so I will show you this in next month. But I've got an idea for this. I actually want to do this page as a series in the actual World of Flowers book, but I have an idea for this page because it's much smaller. It's going to not work with my idea for the series, so I do something a bit different with this page. So I'm just going to put that aside because I need to make sure that I remember to make that video. Okay, so my next Johanna Basford that I did anything in this month was Ivy, and we did this double page spread. Let's come out a little like that. As it was a 5-part series. It's quite a long series, but there was that one. I was really pleased actually with how that one came out, and I really enjoyed doing the series. So I was asked to do this one, so hopefully there'll be a few more. Now this double page, this page was from a long time ago, but I completed this side this month. So there was a series with all these pictures in. And I also just actually last night completed this page. Now this page I used to test out my Crayola skin tone pencils and coloured it in. And I just wanted to match it up. So I'd actually kept a note of the colours that I used. It was Black Widow pencils. So I matched it up with that one. I didn't actually tell you, the postbox page was done with Castle Arts, as was the other page, but because they're series you'll be able to look them up if you want to and find them. So that was that one. And then the very last Johanna Basford one that I did was the calendar page. It's upside down, which this is the 2018 Secret Garden calendar. Sorry you can't see, the book's in the way. There we go. I found this really difficult. I just didn't know what to do with it, so I just kept it really, really simple and used polychromos and a very limited colour palette. I didn't really know what to do with the background, so I just didn't do anything on this. In one of my versions of Secret Garden, I did a window and a wall and things like that, but I just wasn't up to it on such a big page. I just left it. So that is that one. Now we're moving on to Rita Berman. This is her Lande book. We'll come in a little closer. Done one picture from here, which was this bug maze. I'm coming a bit too close. There we go. This was done with Artex pencils and, as you can see, some white pen as well. Again, quite a simple one. but that's okay. Sometimes it's better if it's simpler. This is Rita's summer book. I thought I'd do loads in this month, but actually I'd only done the one picture because I had so many other things to do. So this one was done in Pablo pencils. It's really simple. I just was in the mood for something quite straightforward. So I'm repetitive. Sometimes I really am. Just want to put some colour in a box. So that's what I did for that one. And then we have her Europa book. From here, I did this, and this was a series for you of tutorials, which hasn't long finished actually. So there's that one. I am gonna do this page eventually. Not sure when. Maybe in August. I don't know yet. Haven't decided, but it will happen. I hope it won't take 2 years like the Ivy one did. If you are desperate for it, nag me and I will probably do it. And in her water book we did the fish. Now actually this might be a bit of a spoiler because the fish video won't have finished, series won't have finished yet, but I enjoyed putting lots of sparkles on all the fish and lots of different colours. So that was one that I had a lot of fun with as well. And lastly, her Asian book. There's a bookmark in there to remind me to do a video from a page in there, which I haven't coloured yet. But this one, I used Pablo's for this, but also a few glittery pens for the bubbles, as you can see. I just wanted something simple. Again, I've been in the mood for a lot of simple things this month. Sometimes you are, particularly towards the end of the month. So now we're moving to Hannah Carlson. I've got all her books, and this one was a real simple one. It was a video. I can come in a bit closer, I think. Yeah, it was just nice to take my time with this one on a video, showing you what to do really slowly on quite a small picture. So that's what I did for that one. And then we have Jewellery Box. We're going to have to come out of it a little bit, not too much for the first picture. Oh yeah, we do. Sorry, getting muddled between my books. So this is Jewellery Box, and this is our bug tutorial. We did the 6 bugs. And also this was a video as well. The bugs, sorry, were done with they're both done with Castle Arts Soft Touch. So this one, where I actually only coloured the pen, the rest, this is in glitter pen and the background is in soft pastel. And the bugs were also in Castle Arts Soft Touch pencils. Then Witch's Cottage. I don't think I've done any tutorials from this book, maybe apart from very first one. But anyway, I'm working through it in order, so I just usually do one and don't think about doing a tutorial. So this is our witch, and I did her in Castle Art Soft Touch as well. But the background, I have this brick wall stencil, and I haven't used it much, but I just thought it was really good just to give us a little bit of context, because she's got her broom, so I thought she would probably be inside. But I put a bit of a black floor. It looks a bit dirty, but it was quite, her feet made her look like she was floating in the air, so I tried to ground her a bit. But there we go. So that was that. And then we had Midnight Masquerade, and I did this lady. I found her quite tricky, I have to say. I wasn't 100% happy with how she turned out colour-wise. You know, all the hair, I wasn't sure, but I've done better hair in other pictures, but you know, it was a bit of an experiment, kept to a limited colour palette, and I'm done with Derwent pencils. And that was a mixture of different Derwent sets. So Summer Nights did this frog. You may have seen this one on my Facebook page. he was coloured in polychromos actually, and I decided I wanted him to be in these sort of bluey greens. Now I wasn't sure about the background, so I looked on my colour wheel, and the opposite colour to green is pink, to this shade of green, so I thought I would have a go, and I thought it would work quite well. It's very different. I wouldn't normally do something like that, but you know, why not? Have some fun. Experiment. So, Daydreams. I did the castle in Daydreams. I find Daydreams a little different to, a little more detailed than some of the other books. I find it a little bit more daunting sometimes. But I used my Pablos and we did some, oops, the rain at the bottom is actually glitter pen. It's quite hard to see. But yeah, I enjoyed these sort of purpley tones, and there's a soft pastel background which is a sort of greyy blue, which I thought suited the rainy look of that page, although I suspect it's supposed to be bright and cheery, but yeah. Seasons. This lady, now her hair came out much better. I'm trying to come out so you can see it. Oh, there we go. She was done in Castle Arts. Yeah, I love the purples in Castle Arts, which is why there's a lot there, but it's all done in pencil. This is a sort of like cobalt blue, I think. Yeah, as I say, I think her hair came out better. Basically, I whited over the black lines quite a bit, although you can still see them a little bit. I think it looks better than quite often the hair. Hang on, let me show you one. A big one, come on, there must be one somewhere. Here, look. No, the hair's really covered up in that one. You can see here the hair's got lots of lines in it, and here, and I find they look better if they're covered over, for me. You might not agree. It's fine. Okay, Grains of Gold, which is the compilation book. I did this little mouse. You may have seen him on my Facebook and Instagram, but you will not have noticed that the key is covered in a glitter glaze to make it really shine. So that's done with Black Widows. I was having a real good go at the fur, trying to make it look quite liney and furry, so it's a bit of an experiment. Spirit Animals, yes, this one. I find this book quite daunting because it's mainly double pages, but this page I really wanted to do. I like colouring fire and dragons, why not? Good fun. And I had this idea of putting all this smoky soft pastel around, and there's a sort of black and greys, which was really quick and easy, but you know, sort of adds to the effect, and to make her look like the dragons, so because they're spirit animals, that sort of thing. What did I use? Just having a look. Tombow. So I used my Tombow pencils for that one. I haven't used them much, and I think that was the first time I tried gold with my Tombows, so I was quite pleased with that as well. Just experimenting around with those. Forest Kingdom. We have Artex pencils for this one, the little deer. With I really like the colour of these mushrooms. I tried gold again. It wasn't quite so successful as with the Tombow, but my first time I think with Artex trying out gold. There is also soft pastel in the background, and some metallic pen on these dots, the sort of magic-y dots. That was that one. I found this, I messed up this background. I kept having, it didn't want to sit smooth. I kept going and going and going, and it's really hasn't smoothed out nicely. I'm not sure why, but I don't think Artex pencils are normally bad. I think it might have just been me. Okay, Magical Dawn. This is our last Hannah. This book's got, needs the cover needs wiping off. I think this one's gone up already on Facebook and Instagram. It's done in metallic pencils, a bit of a shine. It is the Funa 50 set of metallic pencils, and that's why the colours are a little bit muted, but I still try to mix them up a little bit to put in my own shading to create the idea of shine, particularly on the keys, as well as the fact that they're shiny. So that's what I did there. Okay, so that's all our Hannahs. Now we have got Maria Trolle. So here is Luna. And in Luna, I basically did this double page spread. It's huge, isn't it? So these daffodils were a video. I just used watercolor, Castles watercolor pencils, and I just wanted a really simple video. So I did that. And then later I coloured this bee using Staedtler Design Journey, and did these forget-me-nots in Staedtler Design Journey as well. I just wanted to sort of finish the page really, and keep it quite simple. Then we have Nightfall. And I did this bird bath. Now it looks quite pale in the camera, but it isn't. I think it's because of all the black. The camera sort of adjusts. It isn't quite as pale as it looks. They are pale pastel-ish colours, but we've got our bird, and I tried to make this look a bit silvery, like it was a metal bird bath, and very pale blue water. It looks, in the photograph that I took and put up on my Facebook and Instagram page, it just looks like that's a bit white. But this was colour with polychromos. And then I also did this page. This was a two-part video, which you've probably just seen if you're keeping up with my tutorials. So this was coloured with Castle Art soft touch pencils. There's soft pastels, there's some pan pastels, there's some glitter pen, there's some white Posca, there's a bit of everything. You can see, I don't think I showed you how shiny the silver pan pastels were once I put them on the cobweb, but there it is. So when you sit it down it just looks a little grey, but when you turn it to the light it's all shiny. So no, I think I forgot. So, slap wrist. Flora. So in Flora, I did this picture. Now this was coloured with polychromos, but the background, soft pastels. Just my Mungio pastels. I've only got 3 pan pastel colours, and 2 are metallics and 1's pearlescent. I just wanted to get something different to what I had with my Mungio pastels, just so I could try a few out. There was a sale in on Jackson's Art. Now this one, which is from Moon Valley, is done with Black Widows, it says. Really? It doesn't look like Black Widows to me. Oh well, that's what it says. Maybe it is. That could be the charcoal green, I guess. Yeah, maybe. And the background, as you can see, maybe is soft pastel with a cloud template. A bit of soft pastel down there as well. That's that one. Now we have Botanicum. Ooh, I can't get hold of it. Now I just fancied doing this sweet little page. I saw a flower like this, and I remembered that there was one like this in this book, and I just wanted to have a go. I used my Holbein pencils for some of it, but then darkened it with something else, but I can't, it just says various, so you know, mixed it up a bit. And then just some blue Mungio in pastel in the background. It's got a bit of blue stainage on the leaves, petals, which is a little bit annoying. Oh, and glitter on the wings, of course. Got to have glittery wings, haven't you? Have you? I think so. Twilight Garden. Now I did this first page, the sort of book plate. I tried to make this look like it was shiny gold. I'm not sure how well it came off, but you know, it's we're all learning. This one, it was Pablo pencils, so that's that one. And I did a big mix of colours, which is something that I don't normally do because it normally looks a bit messy. But because we have different plant types, I try to just colour true to the plant type colour. I think it's okay. Apart from these, I had no idea what these are. Anyway. And this one doesn't have a plant register, so you can't look it up. You have to just guess. But we're going to move on to Lulu Mayo's. So a very different style. This one, I wanted to try and give a sort of pearlescent-y effect to the shell. Probably would be good if I put a bit of my pearlescent pan pastel on top now to make it look really shimmery, but I didn't have it when I did this one. I used my Prismas to sort of do purple and pink. I think it was lavender and lilac, something like that. Those colours you can't get anymore. But the new ones are out in the UK now, so I gather, which is interesting. Right, this is A Million Little Monsters. This is her new book. I've got a flip through of this, and I coloured this. I think I coloured just Nessie in the video and then finished it off off camera, and that I was really pleased with how it came out. We've got various different elements. We've got the sea, and we've got the gold, and we've got the galaxy sky. I'm not very keen on the colours I picked for that, but hey, you know, that's fine. And I used Castle Arts Gold for that one. Haven't done any more in there yet. It's definitely a cute book, but because I try and colour in lots of different books, I tend to only get one done per book for the sort of books that are a bit trickier, I suppose. This one, I decided I needed a background, an interesting background, because it's quite simple. So I tried to put some white on the straw to make it look see-through, and it smudged all the black paint print, which was a little bit annoying. But anyway, it's probably because I use pastel tint, so it's not white, it's probably magnolia or something. Anyway, the background, I just did a sort of rainbow of soft pastel, you know, just, and they blend into each other so easily. And then there are the stars. Oh, they're not. No, they're not pen. I thought they were shiny pen. They're not. They're just a pencil. There's that one. Right, where are we next? We are Wildlife Wonders, Millie Marotta. It's quite a big book, isn't it? Oops. Oh, there's 2 bookmarks in here. No, that's not a bookmark. That's just the list of animals. You can print off on her website the list of the animal names. I think that's what I'd done. This is, I thought it was probably a tapir. I haven't done his eye, I've just noticed. And I haven't written down what pencils I used. So that's brilliant. From looking, I think they could be Derwent because of these sort of really earthy colours. But I have got no clue. But there we go, there's the tapir. I'm just experimenting still with Millie's books because I'm struggling to find pencils that feel nice on her paper. However, this page, where I used polycolour pencils, I was pleased with. Look at that shimmer. That is the Pan Pastel Rich Gold. So when it's not in the light, it looks like that. You can see it's very flat. But when it's in the light, look at that. I love it. The whale has also got Pan Pastel, the pearlescent colour on it to make it shine a bit. But yeah, polycolour. I was really pleased with how they went down. It's not perfect. We've also got some shiny pen dots and things. Had I spent a little bit more time on it, I think I could have got a smoother look to the water. But look at that. I did like those. Right, we have got, oh, I need to turn the page of my planner. And then we're on to Melpomene Chatsapanagio 2 and Nature Mandalas. So this one, I think you may have seen this one on my Facebook page, etc. It is coloured with Artex pencils. I'm not sure if that background is pencil or pastel. I'm pretty sure it's pencil. So it's all done in pencil. But there's her picture. I think the yellow just works very well, I think. It's a good choice, she says modestly. Circle of Life. Oh yeah. I grabbed my Black Widows and I just did this one. I wanted this to look a bit like a grey sky, but the greys are quite brown in my Black Widows. But this one was blue, so you've got a bit of a contrast, night and day. Obviously, we've got some metallic pens for our sort of stars and bits and pieces on this side, but not on this side. It's a bit messy. It's what it is. Right, Leela Dooley, flower year. Every month I do a picture. This month I chose the foxglove, which I used Castle Art Botanical. I had to be really careful because in the centre of a foxglove there's white and a dark purpley pink in this particular colour of foxglove. But that dark purpley pink goes pink if you put white pen on top of it. So I made sure I left little white bits in rather than using a white pen in that one to try and avoid that nasty neon pink that appears if you do it wrong. So that was a bit of a challenge. And then her Beautiful Planet book, I did this seashell design, which you may have seen a picture of already. I can't get any closer than that because I can't move my book. And I used polychromos for that one, and I was sort of the light corals and things like that, beige red, just to, I never know what colours to do shells, but I was happy, so that's good. Okay, now onto some mandalas. This is the Mandalas Volume 3 book by Colour, yeah? Let's come out so you can see the book. And, oops, I coloured. I find it really hard to open this without shadowing the page. I'm trying to find the first one. Here we go. Now, husband gave me some watercolour, Winsor & Newton watercolour marker pens to use. He bought them and he didn't. He said they just didn't do what I wanted. I said, oh, what did you want them to do? And he said, I don't know. You know me. I just buy things. So I tried them out here. I'm not sure they went down particularly well on this paper, but they're very obviously bold. I've used them in other books, which I'll show you as we go through, and they went down a lot better. I think because of this shiny paper, this is better for pencil, but that was fine. And I think I did another one. Yes, here it is. Now this one has got a base. I'm going to turn it that way because it doesn't really matter which way up it is, and show you. This I used a base of alcohol marker, and even though the paper is very thick, it still goes through. So I've got only one alcohol marker. It's an orange chameleon alcohol marker. I just did it all over the base, and then I used Pablo pencils in various orange and brown shades to just bring out details, and that was good. It sort of saved me doing a background. Some areas aren't coloured, they're just coloured with the pen, you know. So it was an interesting experiment. I've done it a few times before, but it seemed to work in that book, whereas those other pens didn't. This is their newer book, which I think the flip through is in July, where I coloured this page, some of it anyway. Now this is coloured with polychromos. They went down really nicely on this paper. It's very, very thick but quite smooth paper. Now I worried about the smoothness because of this trouble I have with Millie Marotta's books, but this one seems better. There's obviously a little bit more tooth on it. And then I also did this one. For some reason I managed to scribble all over the back. I don't know how, but it's quite hard to show you it all. But basically this is done in Prismacolor pencils. There is gold pen, which you can see in metallic pen. There's soft pastels, there's more gold pen. There's a bit of a mix, obviously white Posca on there as well. So, you know, lots of different things going on. I just wanted to play, and yeah, I was pleased. So that was that one. Oh, we're moving away from mandalas now. We've got Animals of the Forest. Let's come in a bit closer for you. And for this one, this was such a teeny tiny detail page, but it really appealed to me, so I was just in the mood for it. So I used my Cores pencils. Now they're a budget brand, they sharpen to a really fine point, so I thought they'd be really good. I can actually see where I've missed so many bits because it's so small and tricky for me. I need some new specs. I can't see particularly well. I should have worn my magnifying ones, but I didn't. But still, there was that one anyway. And then this one, which is the same sort of series, different illustrator though, same publisher. I fancied doing this page with the cat. I wanted something fairly simple because there's so much background. It was quite straightforward. I think I used Arteza Premium for this one, and yeah, just enjoyed trying to do a sort of shine along the leg, give it some shape, that sort of thing. So. Now reptiloids, I did a couple in each of my reptiloids books. This is the first one, and I used Bambino crayons for this one. I find they work quite well because the shading is drawn in for you. You can just colour on top and you don't need to put in your own shading if you don't want to, which is what I did there. Oops. And then this one, oops, I used Ergosoft for, and it's not very bright. I sort of decided to do his skin in grey and then wanted a silver bucket and things, so it's, but you know, but I didn't want to do skin in green because of all the green, so I was a bit stuck really. But I did some more adventurous skin in this one, which is number 2. It's got pink. I started it and then thought, ugh, I'm not sure about that colour. So I did this around here to try and make it offset it a bit. But there she is. She's done with Bambinos as well, so it's just a quick one. And they just make me laugh as I colour. And this chappie, look at him looking up, reading his book. This was done with Ergosoft. So there we go. It's just a little, they're such fun books. I've got flip-throughs of all the books I use, but they make me laugh so much. I giggle through the whole flip through, I think. This one is Matchstick Mouse, as you can see. It is a springtime book. I have been trying to get it coloured through summer, but that's okay. Some of the pictures aren't particularly spring-like. They can work like this one. I realise she's spring cleaning, but you know, I usually spring clean in the summer. In the spring it's too wet. You know, don't do windows and things. Anyway, this is done with Polycolour pencils. And then we have our guinea pig. I think I should have looked up a picture and maybe done the guinea pig in a few different colours, because guinea pigs aren't always all the same colour. But there he is. He was done in, just trying to look, Arteza Premium pencil. Oh, it's written by the side. And then this one I did with pastel tint. This is a little bit faded. I think maybe I should have done mouse in maybe a darker pencil, but the cherry blossoms I thought came out nicely with the pastel tints. And then this one I did with Arteza Expert because I knew they had some good colours for bricks. I wanted to make it look a bit brick-like in the background there. So there we go. Next one, oops, is my little house colouring book. I'm not going to zoom out because it's quite a small picture. It's just this little one up here of Suki. Now I didn't actually colour Suki, the cat, or the table, but the lamp and the lamplight. The lamplight was quite interesting on the back there, and the wall and the violin, Par's fiddle, and that was done with Polycolour, which of course I did all the words as well. I may do the words on the next page in the same colour, but I don't know. I have to remember what it was. Where are we? Oh, Atlas Botanica. I did quite a few from here this month. I don't always get many done. This is a book I was sent by the publishing company. So we have Love Apples, Polycolour. Then we have this one done in, oops, Holbein. I'm trying to push it up a bit. There we go. This is Holbein's and Posca pencils. I've got a couple of Posca pencils. I can't work out where the Posca pencil is. No idea. This was done with Prisma. This is the yellow chartreuse. It's a bit bright, but Broom is really bright, but possibly not quite that bright. This one, took some photos of this at the weekend, my boys, when we were at Slimbridge. So the colour is not quite right, but you know, that's some Holbein as well. Now this is a white rose. I just use white pencil and a bit of grey for that one. And I used, what did I use for that one? I think I used Holbein and then Prisma for the white. Then this one I used Prismas for as well. So that's that one. That one, the colour, I chose completely the wrong colour, but never mind. But that's that one. Okay, now we have the Uplifting Words book. There are a few colour cube cards. We start with this one. Now this colour cube card has got red, which is here, and 2 greys. I used 2 different greys, and the green, but I didn't use the blue anywhere. I think that was a creative decision that I didn't know where to use it. I could have done the words different colours, but I didn't, so that was that one. And then this one, also a colour cube card. Let's turn it around so you can see the page. Oops, there we go. Now this one is, I used the one before, I didn't tell you what I used, Arteza Expert. This one I used Brute Fina metallic pencils, and I had all the right colours for this card. And but there, it's just a little bit dull because metallic pencils don't quite stand out as much, but that's okay. I'm thinking the next one's this way. Oh yeah, so here we have all the pinks, and then we have a brown and a blue. So I just did an accent colour of those two and let the put the pinks through most of it, and that was done with Arteza Expert. Then we have a Castle Art Seascape. This was a complete disaster. I did the tree trunk in green. Why? Who knows? I thought it was just a plant, and then I realised it was a tree. I rubbed it out and it smudged all over the place and I couldn't get it to disappear. So I just went over it in brown and I just hoped it would be okay, but it doesn't look very good because I sort of lost enthusiasm for it because I ruined it. So I just finished it quickly, and yeah, that was that. But I can't leave a picture unfinished, so it's sort of finished, but it's messy. And it probably, if I did a black pen in the background, I could cover all that up, but I just didn't think it was worth it, so I didn't bother. This one though is better. Now this is this Castle Arts, I think. Now this donut, for example, you can see there's white on it, but because this colour goes pink if you put white pen on it, I decided to leave the white paper showing through. So that was a bit different for me. I don't normally do that. I normally use a white pen, so it's just a little thing you could do as well. So I drew that sort of curve and then just coloured in the rest. So that was a bit different. So that's that one. I think that's the last one. Yeah, I'll probably finish that one soon. I've got quite a few books that I'm nearly finishing, which I've been spending a little bit more time on, including this one. So this one, right, the first one is here. This was done with Very Thins with this colour cube card. I think the colours are so pretty together. It's such an autumnal palette, but it was just lovely. I really, really liked it. Now this one is done with those watercolour pens. It looks far better. It's much neater. I think I got used to them as well, because as I use them more, they look better. Now this one, I think yeah, this one was done with watercolour pencils, and I don't know why I chose, because I didn't really wet it very much, because there's such teeny tiny detail in here. And it's just a bit of a mess. This one is done with metallic pencils. You can see they're a little bit shiny. These are the 12 metallic Bouffuna pencils in the little box. This was so daunting, teeny tiny detail. So I didn't want a big colour palette, so I grabbed my Koh-i-Noor highlighter pencils and just went for it. This one is Polycolour. I could tell by looking. This is Polycolour. This one is Bambino crayons. I didn't really know what to do with these bits. Yeah. This one was Holbein pencils. I used I've only got about 14, 15 Holbeins, mainly pastels. This one I haven't written down, but I can see that it's pen. I think I just did some patterning in some of it instead of colouring it in just for something different. So these pink is a felt tip, and then these are like fine liners. This one looks like it's, yeah, this is Holbein again. The pastel pencils. This one is the Bouffuna metallics again. And this one is Stella Design Journey pencils. So it says, and this is the pens again. Now these, I'm getting better at these. They look more even, a little, you know. So that's that one. So I've only got a few of those left. So those are probably this book will probably be finished this month. And then we have another small book, the flowers one. I did the Peace Lilies in Arteza Premium pencils, and then I did these, I don't know what they are, again in Arteza Premium pencils, and then these in Ergosoft pencils. They're quite simple drawings and quite thick lines, but they're quite nice for doing when you just want to, you know, you're not in the mood for doing anything too, I mean, I'm not going to do it like that looks like that, photorealistic. It's quite good for just something relaxed. Now, the 101 mandalas, only one, and again, this was done with these markers, the Winsor & Newton watercolour markers. Now, they are so expensive. They are stupidly expensive, so I wouldn't recommend them. They just, like a felt tip pen, they just go down quite nicely, but really for a mandala book, it's far too much money. I can't remember how much they are, but they're just stupidly expensive. And the 100 mandalas, I did more in. These are both by Camellia Andrakova. Now this one, used this colour cube card, so that was fun. And I used, oh, I need to turn the page. Black Widow pencils for this one. I think what I do with the colour cube is I often grab the card and then I have a look and I think, what pencil sets do I have with those colours in? You know, and then that decides for me. This one was done with those markers, and yeah, they went down really nicely. This is American Amazon paper. They didn't bleed. You know, seep out of the lines. I mean, I've gone out of the lines, but that's me, that's not the pen. This one was a big mix. So the background is done with Distress ink. Then the blue colouring is done with Polycolour pencils. Then on top of the main mandala, there's pearlescent pan pastel, and then on the edge there's silver pan pastel, and you can see that the silver pan pastel has got very little colour on it. I think if you put it on black paper it would really show up, but I think it's because it's quite transparent, is that the right word, see-through, it means that you could put it on top of things and it gives it a bit of a shine, so it's rather fun. So that was that. So I played and played. Now again, these markers on this one, Winsor & Newton. Okay, that's all of those. Right, another nearly knocking all my books on the floor. And then another mandala book here. This Nicola Lehman, she posted this morning on Instagram. She has only been producing books for 2 years and she has got 14 books. She's got colour alongs now on her YouTube channel of her own books, and they're really, really pretty. And so I would recommend having a look. Also following her on Instagram, because she produces the most beautiful pictures from her work, from her drawings. Now I couldn't quite remember what was what here. Polycolour, it says. I'm not convinced this is polycolour, to be honest. I don't know why. And then this one says it's Arteza Premium. Could very well be. I know there are all those colours in Arteza. So that's... But it says, oh, various pens. I don't think that's various pens. Ah, am I looking at the wrong... I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hang on. Let's go back. This says Pablo. Actually, it's written by it. This is Arteza Premium. This is Pablo. I actually written it on. These are the Winsor & Newton pens. I didn't write this one down in my book. So these are, again, those pens, and they're nice on this paper. This is, again, American Amazon paper. Seems not to bleed too much. Like, oh, I know alcohol markers bleed. It's a bit messy, but that's me. It's not the pen. Now, the Stunning Patterns book, I grabbed this card and I was really, really pleased. What I decided to do was to try and mix up some of the colours. So here we've mixed the sort of brownish, the yellowish, greenish tones together, and I just was really happy with it. Yeah. Now this is a new mandala book that I was sent for review this month. I've done 3 in here. I was testing it out really. I didn't do that one on the front there. Here we go. So this first one I did partly, I don't know if I did all of it in the flip through video, and that was with Polycolour pencils. Then this one was a bit of a strange colour scheme with Arteza Premium. I sort of wanted it blue and yellow, and then I added in an orange, and then it all got a bit weird. But this one I experimented with pens. Now, the central circle is done with Posca pens, and they were absolutely rubbish on this paper. This is UK Amazon paper. They kept feeling like they were running out. They've gone all thick and nasty. They didn't lay down nicely. It was rubbish. So I was like, ugh. So I gave up after I did this bit and used metallic Sakura gel pens, and they went down a treat. Absolutely brilliant. No problems at all. But I thought I'll try a different type of pen on the outside, just so that I can give you a little pen review. These are normal felt tip pens. They're Staedtler Triplus pens. They went down fine, apart from the fact that the pink ran out. I was eking it. I felt like I was almost squeezing it to get the last bits of colour out, so I didn't have another one. So it looks rubbish, but as a test of pens, it was quite useful. So basically, on the Amazon UK paper, this particular one, I mean, I don't know if they always use the same paper. I find the paper quite good, but not for... It's all rough and nasty, not for Posca. I think if you were doing a little bit or a highlight or something, it would be fine, but you know, not for big details. Microscopic Marvels. I did a double this time. Just move my stuff along a bit so that I can show you all of it. I didn't want to do anything too complicated. This is done with Castle Arts Monet set, and I just picked out the sort of alizarin crimson and the rose pink and the purples and blues, and just kept it simple with some black, and just blocked it in. It was a really simple page, you know. I'm gonna sneeze. Try and hold on until the end. There's only a little bit left. Imagine Morphea, Kirby. I always look at Kirby, get really, really frightened and scared, but when I do a picture, I'm always pleased, and it's always much easier than I think, because Kirby draws in all the shading for you. So with this one, what I did was these two bugs. Now half of the bug is like a real bug, this bit here, yeah, and this bit here. And then this half is like a mechanical bug, yeah. So what I did was I used Castle Arts gold pencils for the real bits, and then for the mechanical bits I used their metallic pencils and tried to match up the colours, you can see it's shiny, as best I could. So that was a bit of a different experiment, and I kept the colouring really simple. You can see here, it's just, I have ignored all these bits and bobs and I've just kept them the same sort of dark to light. It's easier. And I tried to make it like one of those oily shiny bugs, but you know, I don't know if it worked. It was just one I looked up on my search engine. I tried to copy. Well done if you've got through it. This is the last book, and it is Colouring Heaven's Patterns book. And I picked this picture, number 10, in the book, and used polychromos. I just wanted the flowers to really stand out, so I kept the greens a little bit dull. I'm not actually convinced those look like polychromos. Oh, they probably are. Yes, they probably are. And so we've got our carmines, I think, for the pinks, and then I think these are the olives and the, yeah. So that is us done. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed looking at what I've been doing. I'm afraid I haven't had time to look at what other people have been doing very much. Instagram isn't being very kind in showing me your completed pictures anymore. The algorithm has changed and it's awful. And I haven't had time to watch videos because I've been watching tennis. But maybe I'll get a chance to look at some of your completed pages videos soon. If you you could always drop a link in the comments if you want me to have a look at yours, and I'll come over and have a little look, because I do find them inspiring, but I just sort of forget and get carried away with other things. But anyway, thank you for watching. Have a super day, and yeah, happy colouring.